Good evening, Kittanning. It is wonderful to be back on the live stream again. Glad to have you all. Hopefully, if you're watching this after the fact on the replay, uh, no problem there. Just bear with me for a couple minutes. It normally takes a little bit of time for people to come on here and join us for the evening. I'm hoping my wife is going to join me tonight. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about other than to do a little promotion for Light Up Night, all those kinds of things that are coming up this week. And then hopefully you guys will have some things to talk about as well. So, all right. So we have some people joining us already. I'm going to go on Facebook real quick and let them know that we are officially live. And yeah, we'll go from there. So, how was everybody's day? What do you have going on this week? Any good praise reports from last week? Any interesting things to tell me about? Definitely want to hear what you guys have been up to as well. Let's see here. Okay. All right, got a few people coming on in. Glad you guys are always making a point to come here. I like feeling the same. I like seeing the same people every week. That's always fun. I feel like we're building a friendship from a distance, and some of you I know during the week as well. So that's always good. But anyways, glad to have you. 3D Maker, I saw you're in the house. I think I saw Kevin. I think I saw Paul. So I'll get to your comments in a minute. But yeah, tell me how your day was. Tell me what you're excited about in the upcoming week, and give me a report on anything that happened last week. I'm interested to know what's going on with you guys as well. Well, my phone always wants to give me trouble as soon as I do this. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna do my Facebook real quick. Hey Facebook, just wanted to let you know we are live like normal on Sunday evening, so come on over to the YouTube channel, Andrew Ladisaw on YouTube. We're live every Sunday night at 9 o'clock. I just hang out normally between half an hour and an hour, and we just try to have good conversations about our city. And yeah, it's just a good time. So come on over to the live stream on YouTube. I would love to have you there. All right, God bless. Okay, guys, so looks like just a few people here so far. That's no problem. So hopefully we can have a little bit to talk about. Let me get to the comments here. We got Paul, Kevin, 3D Maker Kids in the house. Hi, you three. 3D Maker Kid says, I feel dead. I just did a 13-mile backpacking trip with the Scouts. Wow. Impressive, man. So did you do just like a local loop, or did you go on a big trip, or what happened? So I just want to know. Let's see. Gene, is that AJ? I always forget. Gene, are you AJ in the house? Good to have you. I see your comment there. That's awesome. And yeah. Christian's in the house. Feels adopted. I'm not sure what that means. Christian, you're going to have to explain yourself a little bit more. 3D Maker says, Oil Creek State Park, Girard Trail. I've never heard of Oil Creek State Park. Is that local somewhere, or what's going on there? Swan's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Glad you're back. Got 7 people now in the house. I don't know, did anything get onto the Discord channel? I didn't see any notification come through. Or maybe I did. Oh, looks like 3D Maker Kid's on there. Very good. Let's see. Kevin says, I spent the day cleaning and rearranging, then I stuffed myself on lasagna. So pooped. Good stuff. Christian's upset that his dad made him clean, I bet. 3D Maker, 2 hours away. Okay, all right. Brian Armitage is in the house. Good to have you, Brian. Missed you guys today. Nathaniel's in the house. Awesome. Let's see here. Oh. So, Kevin, you wouldn't let him use the computer. All right, I get it now. So I spent my day, we had a fun church service today. I don't normally talk about money at church, but I preached about money today, and we had a really fun time with that. It's really interesting because our church is like not a money oriented church at all. We don't even have an offering every Sunday. We just have a box that people can give if they want to. So to preach about money for me is kind of awkward, but yeah, we're working on that, and it was a really fun sermon. So if you guys haven't subscribed to Living Water Church on YouTube yet, you can go subscribe there, and you can catch the sermons if you want to hear what we've been talking about. But anyway, that was a lot of fun for me, at least. I don't know if it was fun for anybody else, but I had a good time with it, and be preaching about that topic for a couple more weeks, and then it'll be like time to prepare for Christmas. It's craziness. And then afterwards, I've been here at the house. I made a video about the homestead, and so a guy from a different group actually asked me if I want to do a collaboration, and so we're both doing a video on three things to do on your homestead before winter. And so he made a video about that, and I made a video about that. And he's in a different context. He's in like Indiana, has a more I don't know, like tech savvy operation, or that's what he's going for in the end. And my operation here is very low tech, very back to basics, earth based kind of stuff. I have what's called a permaculture garden, and so I don't do any fertilizers or any of that kind of stuff. I try to use my chickens as much as possible to make that happen. So anyway, let me go back to the comments. Kevin. Oh, Braden's in the house. Good to see you, Braden. I got to talk to your grandma today. I was hoping to see you soon, so hopefully you can make it back one of these days. But yeah, we are having a float for the church in the parade. Living Water Church is supposed to have a float, so we've been working on that. I don't know how impressive it's going to be, but it'll just be something, and it'll be fun. And we'll have hopefully different kids in the church can come out and join us for that. And we have Jim Bastine's going to be dressed as Jesus on the float, so that's going to be really fun. And so if you want to be on the Living Water Church float, you are all invited for sure. You have to be on South Jefferson Street at maybe 4:30. They'll start lining up the parade, and the parade's at 5:30. It'll be just like maybe a 15-20 minute parade, and then we will be able to enjoy Light Up Night right after that. So lots of cool stuff coming up on Light Up Night. That's the one thing I do have on the schedule to talk about. And then, yeah. I don't know if I've been drinking out of these glasses now. I don't know if I got to show you these, but Kevin, who's on the live stream right now, found these glasses. I don't know where he found them, at a thrift store somewhere, but they're like the coolest thing ever. These are like maybe one of the greatest gifts that I've ever received from anybody. And so this is Franklin Village Shopping Mall that's on here. Like, it's really cool. And then it has a little history about the shopping mall on the back. And then there's one for the Kittanning Bridge. There's one for the old railroad station. And it's just like super, super cool. So this is what I drink my kombucha out of every Sunday evening. So I don't ever want you guys to think like I'm having my nightcap here. That's not the case. Just kombucha. Trying to increase my gut health, okay? But anyway, I was talking about the video I made this afternoon. So this guy, he asked me to collaborate with him, and so we both made the same video, just from two different perspectives. And so that'll be coming out tomorrow morning. And then tonight, I'll actually have another video coming out. That's like a little Light Up Night preview video. And so that'll be really, really fun. Just kind of giving you guys an idea of some of the new things that are coming at Light Up Night and where everything's going to be laid out. And so if you're able to share that one with somebody in Kittanning, we really want to get more people at Light Up Night than ever before. And so we're going to try to make that happen. So you guys can be a part of that. That would be super helpful if you would share those, share that stuff. Let's see, comments. Christian says, back in the day, my dad helped write the commandments. Wow, he's so old. Kevin and Moses went up the mountain and got them directly from the Lord, right? Kevin says, was it just me, or this church service seemed to fly by? It was so fun, so that makes sense. It made me think a bit on how even though my funds are rather limited, I can certainly give more. And yeah, I preached about specifically just that God has given us stewardship over all the things in our life, and so it's all really His. And we use the parable in Matthew chapter 25 to kind of illustrate what was going on there. So, you can go read that or just listen to the sermon and get a good idea. I started it out with this big joke about that I was raising money to buy a church sports car so that I could get around and spread the gospel faster. But so I'm trying to have fun with it. I really enjoy that kind of stuff. Oh, and then Christian's talking about that. I think all of our funds are limited against a Lamborghini. Yeah, it was actually a McLaren. Was the car that I put up there. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a McLaren S570, but it's like this really sick sports car. It goes it goes from 0 to 124 miles an hour in 9.5 seconds. Uh, it's just crazy, total insanity. So I think I need that as a pastor. I think that should be a requirement. They start at $188,000 for the base model. Paul says, God brought me and my family back together again, and I loved church, and I am so happy now. Good stuff, Paul. I'm glad you have that family time back together for you. That's good stuff. 3D Maker says, so when are we going to do this collab? I have a 10-day long Thanksgiving break. 3D Maker, I would love to do that. What are you thinking? What do you have in mind? You pitch me an idea, and we'll see if we can make it happen. I'm not ready to build my computer yet, so we can't do that one. But maybe there's something else we could do together. AJ says, had a great time today. Yes, good stuff. Brian says, drove to Florida, 17-hour drive. Thought about you guys at church. I'll be there this Sunday for sure. Good stuff. Brian, it's okay. We're never mad when someone isn't there. But we love you. Glad you made it home safe. That's good stuff. And you can always catch up on the sermon on YouTube. Can't catch up on the worship, but, it is what it is. Braden says, who cares? The float will look great. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Kevin with the big smile. Fermented drinks and foods are great for positive bacterial growth in the stomach. Yes, absolutely. I actually have noticed a difference when I'm drinking kombucha on a regular basis. It seems like I have more energy as long as I'm not stuffing my body with sugar, especially sugar right before bed. When I do that, I really get in trouble if I'm eating, and it's been Halloween candy. It's been my thing. Like I just ate like 5 pieces of Halloween candy. And then I'm eating some other stuff just because I'm ravenously hungry today. But if I don't do that and I just drink kombucha before bed, it's like I wake up just so fresh. So totally agree. Nathan says, will there be more vendors this year? Yeah, so let's talk about Light Up Night. So far we have, I believe there's 9 food vendors. There's 2 tables doing like cookie decorating, and then we'll have tables all around that are selling, or not selling, but giving away cookies, basically on every single block. And so there's going to be a lot of food that way. As far as regular vendors, like doing other stuff, we have a couple tables that'll be selling toys for Light Up Night for the little kids. And then we also have, there's at least 3 local businesses that are setting up tables, plus all the other local businesses that will be open on Light Up Night as normal, having their sales and all those different kinds of things. So it should be a pretty packed house. A couple other things that'll be happening would be, you know what, I should just go get the map. But I'll go off the top of my head. So starting up at the 300 block, there will be a train for kids. So that's always a hit. We didn't have the train for, I think, a year because they had problems with their insurance, so they weren't there last year. But we can now, they have the train is back. So the train will be there. And then also on that block, there will be a Christmas circus. So Club Radioactive is going to have different performers doing what sounded like some pretty cool stuff. So that'll be right close to my office, actually, on the corner of Mckean and Market. And so they'll be there. Also up there, we'll have there'll be wagon rides from a new vendor this year. So I'm not sure exactly what all they have, but it'll be really cool. So they'll be pulling a wagon around town. It'll go on kind of a block worth of like a hayride kind of style ride. And then what's new this year in First National Bank, they're going to have, it's called Stuff-A-Bear. It's like a Build-A-Bear workshop, and so the little kids will be able to go in there. They'll be able to stuff their own stuffed animal, put the little heart in there like they do at Build-A-Bear, and that's going to be 100% free. It's being sponsored by Rosebud and by Downtown Kittanning Incorporated. And so that's going to be really cool. I believe they only have 150 bears. And so if you have little kids and you want to get that for them, you just want to make sure to get there early and make that happen. So just giving you prior warning on that one. Then across the street, have Habitat for Humanity and Reagan's Journey, two local nonprofits coming together. They do a little like cookie decorating activity for kids. That's really, really neat. And then I'm coming down towards the river now. So coming down to 200 block, basically the whole rest of the way, there'll be food trucks along the north side of the street. So food trucks and food vendors and all that kind of stuff. There'll be 5 different food trucks and 4 different food vendors. I think somebody talked about East Biare, and East Biare Coffee will be there. They'll be serving their winter blend coffee, which is actually in the video that I'll be posting tonight. And so if you want to learn about their winter blend coffee and how East Biare makes their coffee at home, it's a really cool video, and it was really, really neat to be a part of that. So then coming down the street, we'll have the Shriners Clowns will be there doing their face painting and their tricks and all that kind of stuff. And then the stage will be there still this year, so we'll have musical performers through the whole night. And then coming down the 100 block towards the end, we're actually going to have what's called a Journey to Bethlehem. And so for the first time ever, there won't be like a live nativity this year, but it's going to be like this whole journey. And so the Journey to Bethlehem is going to have 7 different little stages around it. And so it'll be like take 20 to 30 people through at a time is the plan. And then we'll be able to give the real story of Christmas through that whole process. And so you'll start, it'll be like an introduction, and then there'll be a pony ride that will be in there to kind of take you to Bethlehem. And then you'll be in the field with the shepherds and the angels. And then it will go to the innkeeper, to the manger scene. And then the wise men will be at the end. And then there'll be a petting zoo at the end also for the kids. So it's going to be a really, really cool family experience. It should take about 20 minutes for people to kind of work their way around and do the whole thing. But I think it's going to be really, really cool. I'm hoping it turns out as like the premier event for Light Up Night. And so we just want to see if that works. Hopefully it will work. And then next year we can make it bigger and better as we have more churches involved and more volunteers. So this year I think we have like 4 or 5 churches are involved at this point. Hopefully I'll maybe get another couple this week that will get involved with it. And it'll be a good way for all the churches in Kittanning to kind of come together and collaborate on something too. So, but very, very excited for Light Up Night. I think it's going to be awesome. And the parade is upgraded this year. I think last year we had like 9 different floats that went through the parade. It's always been, Light Up Night's been kind of a shorter parade, but this year there's like 30 different floats that are planning to be involved. So it should be a nice long parade, and they're extending the parade route also. So the parade's going to go all the way down Jefferson Street, up Arch. It'll come back on Grant Street, and then come back down Market, all the way back down Jefferson. So it's going to be like a big loop that they go around, and it's going to be really cool. And Santa's at Citizens Bank. So I forgot to mention Santa because I'm not a Santa fan. But those of you that have kids, you want to see Santa, that's where he'll be. Citizens. Okay, back to the comments. Sorry. Christian says, it sounded like you said you were going to drink hooch every Sunday. No, I drink kombucha. Guys, 9 people watching and 1 like. Pick it up, people. Thank you, 3D Maker Kid, for the reminder. There's now 11 people and 5 likes, so we're advancing on both counts. Thank you. McLaren S570 is one of my dream cars. It's totally sick. That car is amazing. I'm not a car person at all, but that was really cool. I was in Pittsburgh, actually, in the video where it's me and Edgar Snyder in the thumbnail, where Next Tier won that award in Pittsburgh, and I got to go to the events ceremony. When I was walking up to the hotel, there was a McLaren sitting there in front of the hotel, and I was just like awestruck. It was sitting out in the rain. I was just like, I can't believe this is like someone's daily driver vehicle, but there it was, right in front of the hotel, McLaren. I just couldn't believe it. I got video of it. It's in the video, so you can take a look at it, and and go back and reminisce in the beauty of that car. Christian says, if I work hard for a year, I could afford a Lamborghini logo. That's great, man. I mean, it's real close to the car. And technically, if you put a Lamborghini logo on anything, like I should get one for my Chevy S10 and just tell people it's a Lamborghini. That would work out. Brian's excited about Light Up Night. Me too, friend. And your little boy, he's just the perfect age for Light Up Night, isn't he? My kids are just so excited about Light Up Night every time now. Last year we made a video about it, and it was just really, really cool. Braden. 3D Maker says, one video idea. Give me and all the viewers a tour of Kittanning. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe we could do that. EastBR Coffee will be there. Kelly's in the house. Good to see you, Kelly. Thanks for joining us tonight. Oceanic Newt has a off-topic question. Does anyone know why the iris of the eye would turn gray? Interesting. I have no idea. All babies, I believe, kind of are born with gray eyes. At least all of my babies were. And then they gradually were kind of bluish gray eyes when they were little, and then they just all turned brown. My wife is so disappointed because she just wanted one blue-eyed child, but my genetics are just too strong, evidently, and the brown just overpowers everything. Oh, 3D Maker just said that. Most people are born with gray eyes. Very cool. Paul says, sounds good for this year, for a Light Up Night, I'm assuming. Kevin says, my dream car would be a Ford Model A. Go for it, man. That's all you. My dream car is one that runs and gets me from point A to point B. And I have 3 of those. So, got 3 of my dream cars. It's amazing. Actually, my truck is my favorite car. It's the 99 S10, and it's just like stick shift, crank windows. It's as simple as possible. It has a cassette player, and then Facebook evidently knows what kind of car I have because they were promoting to me on Facebook a cassette tape that's a Bluetooth adapter, and so I could run my music from my phone through Bluetooth into my cassette player in my Chevy S10. And I'm like, I have to have that. I just need it. So I asked my wife for that for Christmas, my cassette Bluetooth adapter. $25. I mean, how could you spend $25 better than that? I just don't know. 3D Maker says, I nearly got to ride in one. You got to ride in a McLaren almost? Oh, man. Gotta make that happen. Kevin says, if I'm a wise man, I so badly want to say, come children, bear witness to the universe's greatest Fortnite play. Is that you? Are you the universe's greatest Fortnite player? In an old raspy voice, of course. Yeah, man, get to it. I love it. AJ says, we are so happy that I came to your church. Man, I'm glad to have you too. And God's got big things for you, AJ. Yeah, don't ever get too discouraged. Just keep coming, keep getting into what God has for you, and just keep looking for opportunities to serve, not only within the church but in the community, and it will go well with you. So keep up the good work, my friend. Keep it up. Kevin says, if you need Christian music cassettes, I got your back. I have so many. Do you have like legitimate Christian music, or is it like old-time country Christian music? I mean, I'm cool either way, and if you have some hymns, I would actually love that. Like if you could share a few hymn cassettes with me. I'm trying to get into some more hymns because I think as a church, I think we have some talented writers, and I know we have some talented musicians. So I'd love to kind of like rewrite some old hymns, but I just don't know very many. So if you have some, I would love, love, love that. Like, let's make that happen. Swan says, I like the tour of Kittanning idea for a video. Also, I'd love to see some more history vids like the one you did of the old bridge. Yes, so there are more history videos coming, I promise. I just have not gotten around to making them, but I do have them on my list. The next History of Kittanning video will be the history of why it's called Typewriter Hill. We've all heard people talk about Typewriter Hill, but nobody seems to know why it's called that. It has a really interesting story behind it, and so I will make that video pretty soon. It probably won't be this week, but it'll probably be the week after. You'll have a video on the history of Typewriter Hill. Super interesting story. You can go look it up now, but that would totally ruin the video for you. So just wait for me. I'll make it. I promise. Kevin has it all. So many tapes. Just realized I was called to be a missionary a year ago yesterday. I'm not sure what that means, 3D Maker. Like, you're going to be a missionary overseas? Or, like, I need to know that story. Because if you're going to be a missionary, I need to, like, know how I can support you. And any training that I can give you for what to do, like, I want to make that happen. If we can talk about the gospel or whatever, like, let's do it. Kevin says, I have a hymn that says, "Hymn from the Civil War." Don't ask. I like tapes. Okay. All right, cool. Mark Crosby's in the house. Man, Mark, you've had a crazy weekend, my friend. I'm glad you're here. I'm praying for Kristen. I hope that she is well. Or I hope she's getting better. I know she's not well, I'm sure, at this point, but it will get better. Swan says, Typewriter Hill, I will wait for it. Thank you, friend. Thank you. So, I think that's really all that I have. I don't know if my wife is going to join me at all, but if you guys would like to have any questions for her, maybe I can coax her in with some questions, and we can finish it out that way. Oh, wait. Wait just a minute, you guys. It might be happening. I think it's happening.
You're such a dork.
She says I'm a dork. You joining this thing? Let's do it. You can see her shadow a little bit. All right, she's coming for sure. So any questions you have for Elizabeth, go ahead and make it happen.
Oh, you're down.
You going up there? You want me to come up with you?
I don't know.
Yeah, we
Sit
better.
down here.
Are you sure? Okay.
Just make up your mind.
Well, you make up your mind. Tell me what you want. Okay. So, 3D Maker says, a very long story. Last year I went to a retreat called Rebloom with New Life Christian Ministries. After a 2-hour chapel at night, we had 20 minutes of prayer. Okay. I want to hear the rest of the story. Type it up. Andy is a dork from Mark. Miss Elizabeth.
Agreed.
How was your day?
Fine.
How
Busy.
How are you doing as a person?
Fine.
Do you want to tell what we did yesterday? What I did yesterday?
You broke a pipe in the basement to the pump
Yeah.
of the well, so.
So yeah, I had big plans for yesterday, all the things I was going to accomplish, and I was doing really, really well, honestly. And then at noon, I went down, I was going to change the water filter just really fast, like unscrew it, put the new filter in, screw it back on. Should be a 5-minute job. And I went to crank the thing to get it off, and both pipes on both sides busted simultaneously. Both plastic pipes just like shattered. And so the rest of my day was spent putting the pipes back together so we had well water again. It
It
wasn't.
was awesome to not have water all day long
Yeah, it was really cool, right?
with 4 kids.
You did kind of have water though. You just didn't have sink water. We have city water now, so we kind of have a dual system. So it was just like half of our water was out and half of it was in. So, but yeah. Oh, Kevin has a good question for you. Elizabeth, is it hard not to be prideful when you have the coolest pastor alive as your husband?
I don't have the coolest pastor husband alive.
Kevin, you must have me
Just
mixed
joking.
up with Mark. You know, I think you should be asking. You should be asking Kristen. Gene says, God helped you fix it. Yes, he did. And Jim Cogley also helped me fix it. I had to call Jim to get me some get some advice on what I should do, because I had a water softener, so I took that out of the whole loop, and because we don't use it anymore, and so it was it was a pretty big project for me. I'm not a plumber by any means, but got it done. Everything works. And it's okay.
I'm glad it broke on him and not me.
Yeah. Okay, 3D Maker's telling more of a story. During prayer, a seemingly random verse came into my mind. I've never heard this before. It was Ecclesiastes 1:5. It reads, "The sun also rises and the sun goes down." Very cool. "And hastens to the place where it arose." To be continued. Keep telling your story, man. I'm going to tell it on here. Okay, Kevin says, if you both had the ability to close your eyes and to go anywhere in time just to visit, where and when would you go?
I have no idea.
Elizabeth's not a history buff, and she doesn't get excited about things really. I don't think. I would. I would want to go so many places, right? Like the Sermon on the Mount. I would. There's so many like Bible things that I would want to go see. So be Jesus at the Sermon on the Mount. Like I want to see how that happened. The day of the Book of Acts, chapter 2, where the Holy Spirit comes. Like I want to be there for that whole ordeal. Like that sounds like just amazing. And then the third one was the Transfiguration. And Easter Sunday. Man, so many things. So yeah, all Bible related though. Like I just want to be around Jesus and around when the Holy Spirit came. What else? Where would you want to go?
I have no idea. Like I said, I'm pretty lame, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're super lame. Maybe like creation. Oh man, that'd be cool, right? To watch God like speak everything into existence. That'd be sweet. Or when like when the devil was tempting Eve with the fruit, like you could go back and stop that. Like don't do it. Don't do it. Isaac Crawford's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. 3D Maker Kid says it goes the whole way to verse 15, and it made me think that the world is constantly needing missionaries. You are so right, 3D Maker Kid. The world is constantly in need of missionaries. The Bible says that the fields are white with the harvest, which just means it's like ready to go. But the harvest is great, but the laborers are few, and so we always need more laborers, more missionaries, whether that's overseas missionaries or church planters here in the United States or whatever that looks like. We need more people living for God. Absolutely, 100%. Paul would have helped me. Thank you, Paul. I did a pretty good job. AJ and Kelly are very happy we found your good church because it changed us in so many ways. Yeah, and the change is just beginning, you two. You know, you got to keep coming, keep connecting, and it's gonna be a great life. Swan says, "Hi, Elizabeth. Have you guys told the story of how you met?" Did we? I think we did.
Not on this, but on the
Yeah, I think it was in this
anniversary video.
Yeah, the video of our 7th anniversary, the 7-year itch one, which still happening. But anyway, the story of how we met is kind of interesting. Do you want to tell it, or do you want me to tell it? I feel like you should talk.
Why?
Okay, I'll talk.
I can talk, but
So we met unofficially in church at a young adult group in Greensburg at Word of Life Church, and then we didn't really know that we met, but we knew each other by looking at each other. I knew her as like the cute girl that sits across the way.
Well, it's funny because whenever you go somewhere, it's like you find where you like to sit, and then when you go back, you sit in the same spot.
Yeah.
Like wherever you go. So that's kind of how we were. Like I sat on one side of the room, he sat on the other. We just had like our own friends, and I was always late. Well, I shouldn't say always. I was mostly late.
Yeah, and I was mostly on time then before children. So.
Yeah. And I just remember going around the room like to sit where I sat, and there was like him and his friend was with him, and I'm like, oh, okay. And there was one seat left. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here because that's where I always sat. We were just kind of talking, and then he was actually with a girlfriend, not a girlfriend, but a friend that was a girl. So I'm thinking like they're together. So like my mind's, oh, it's a friend. Just go home and do whatever, and keep going.
So then on my birthday, I had quit drinking, so I wasn't a drinker anymore. And my friends just kept badgering me on my birthday. And I was literally in bed, like in my pajamas, half asleep. And they just kept texting me and calling me. And so finally, I woke up, put my clothes back on, and went out to this club in Greensburg, like a legitimate like nightclub club. And
Yeah.
so I got there, and here's Elizabeth there with her friend. She was a designated driver for one of her friends that was like at the time kind of on a date, I guess, with one of my friends. And so they were. So here's like two Christians come out and meet in the shadiest nightclub in
Yeah.
Greensburg, and we struck up a conversation. And I got her number, and we went on our first date, which was like a walk around my neighborhood,
And
probably.
Frosty Shack.
And Frosty Shack, yeah, which is like an ice
Ice cream
cream
place.
place in Greensburg.
Yeah.
And that was probably what, like 2 or 3 days after, right?
Something like that.
It was really fast. And then, you know, we got married, had a bunch of babies. Here we are.
I remember on that first date too. He goes, uh, "Do you find it weird that you're walking around, at night with almost a stranger?" I was like, "Why? What's your like? Should I be worried?" You're like, "No, I think it's just pretty cool." I was like, "Okay."
It was pretty cool.
It was, but it was just funny the way you were like,
And I wasn't, it was kind of weird that she trusted me like that because,
and I don't trust anybody, so
it's true.
yeah.
And so, but we joked for a long time after that she actually knew me because she was like stalking me, and she would always look in my window, and so she had a pretty good idea of who I was by that point. She had been planning it for a long time.
Well, you just make it sound weird that I look in windows.
It is weird
No,
that you look
is
in
it?
windows.
How many people when you're driving and you see like someone's window open, you just kind of look and you're like, oh, they have a nice lamp or they have whatever. You're not like peeking in, like, ooh, let me watch what you're doing.
You look away and you respect their privacy, Elizabeth.
Well, if they have their windows open and I'm walking by, I'm gonna look in the window. I'm sorry.
Oh, see, now we're taking us back to like dating days. This is how we used to kind of bicker back and forth, and it's so fun. And we don't do that enough anymore. We just don't. Life takes over, and she's mad at me and whatever. But here we are.
I'm just sapped out by the end of the day.
But it is a super fun story. I love telling it. And then we, literally the day after we got married, or sorry, the day before we got married, I signed my State Farm contract. July 1st, we got married on July 2nd. And within 5 months, we were signing on a building and moving to Kittanning. And I was away at State Farm training for 6 weeks of our first 12 weeks of marriage, I think.
Something like that.
And it was a really hectic time and just so much blessing. It was just silliness. So we're just incredibly blessed over the last 7 years, 7+ years, 8 years, I guess, now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been really, really awesome. So, yeah, hopefully that answers the question. I think it does. Kevin says, I'd be like, girl, why are you listening to a snake to begin with? Put that apple down. Kevin, you're my favorite person on live stream. I mean, you're one of my favorite people, just period. But yeah, love you, man. Brian says, Plumbing 101, go call Jim. I like it. Been there by myself. What's Jim's number? Seriously, Jim might be annoyed with me. I'm not sure, but he's just so helpful. He just knows everything, and so every time I get to the point where I don't know what I'm doing, or if I just have a question to be sure, I always call him just to make sure. And it's really interesting because when I first met him, I didn't know anything, and I just continued to learn from him every time that he's helped me. And so now, when I did that project yesterday, it was one of the very first times that I didn't actually need someone to come and do it with me. I completed the project in one day by myself, and Jim is a huge part of that because I never had the confidence to even do that before. But you got to get yourself a mentor who can walk you through some stuff, because my dad and stepdad, my dad wasn't always around, and my stepdad was a fix-it kind of guy, but I just never really paid attention that much when I was younger, and so I missed out on a lot of that stuff. but I'm trying to make up for lost time now. So thank you, Jim, if you ever watch this video. Another one of my favorite people in the world. Mim says, that's a very sweet story. Totally agree. 3D Maker says, only a small group of people know about your call to be a missionary. Well, now a slightly larger group knows about it, 3D Maker, and we are encouraging you, my friend. You are so young. You have your whole life ahead of you. Don't waste a day, just get started right away. People will always tell you, "Oh, be a kid," all that stuff. Like, don't move forward too much stuff at one time. Don't listen to any of that. You have so much life ahead of you, but it goes by in a blink. Start now. Start now. Even at 13 years old, start now. Kevin says, I watch TV in people's houses if it's across from their window. Yeah, that's my wife also, Kevin. Mind your own business. Paul says, great story. Royal Learning Time's in the house. I almost missed the live. Royal Learning Time, my wife still talks about you all the time, saying that she really needs to get in touch with you.
I do.
So
and then my days get gone, and then I forget until I see your name, and I'm like, dang, I forgot again. So
yeah,
I think about you.
So don't give up, Royal Learning Time. You keep asking,
Definitely.
AJ says, how did you become a pastor? So I kind of became a pastor on accident. When we were starting Living Water Church, we had Pastor Fred was our lead pastor, and Pastor Fred did a great job. At that point, I was basically the administrative person. So I was the one building teams. I was the one doing organizational things behind the scenes. I was making sure that the building was in order, that the remodel and all that kind of stuff happened. I was just in charge of that stuff, just administratively. And I think that still that's probably where my greatest gifting is. And so I'm trying to do more of that in the church, and that's a different story. So how I became a pastor is I then began self-studying to get my pastor's license or my minister's license. And I'm at the second level of that. So I started out as a local minister, and now I'm an official minister that can marry people and bury people and all that kind of stuff. So it was just a process. It was just self-study, and it was mostly before the kids were born, at least the first round. And the second round was when we only had one child, I believe, which was a lot easier to study then. So that's how I got started.
It's a lot easier to do a lot of things.
Yeah. But that being said, Abby is just developing into this amazing little helper. She's just done so much work in the house in the past couple of days, and it's just really, really cool. So we're coming out of that kid stage slowly. Lily's mostly potty trained now. Malachi's pretty much done with bottles, eating a lot of regular food. It's like all of those firsts are now becoming lasts, which is pretty cool. And a little sad at the same time, right?
It is.
But hey, it's life. We'll have grandkids someday, hopefully. So we can relive it then. Maybe we'll be ready to relive it then.
And send them home.
That's right.
Yeah. I love my kids. I'm not.
Yeah. Let's see. 3D Maker says, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but that's the problem when I'm not paying attention to the comments, right? Swan says, y'all really had me smiling through that meetup story. I'm glad it's fun to tell. It really is fun to tell. It's fun to reminisce and all that kind of stuff. Royal Learning Time says, it was my birthday yesterday, so my daughter hid 37 Shopkins I just had to find. So I'm assuming she did that because you were 27 years old and you got 10 for your, for like a bonus. Is that how it works? Anyway, Mckean, if my fiance would have lived, we would have had the same anniversary date. Okay. Yeah, so July 2nd, I guess, would have been it. I don't know the story there, but I am sorry to hear that. Let's see. Evan's in the house. My nephew is 7 months old, and he is so adorable. 7 months is kind of like 6 months is like the turning point for me, where babies stop looking like aliens and start looking like little children, and so that's where they get cute in my book. Um, and then they get progressively cuter until they're like 5, and then they start losing teeth, and that whole thing. Do you have an opinion on cute babies, Elizabeth?
I think they're cute all the time.
Yeah, you would. You would.
And I do.
I just think I don't know, every baby that comes out of the womb just looks like an alien to me. They don't look like...
They're stinking cute even though they look like an alien. They're still cute.
They're just not, though. They're just not cute until a little bit later, for me, One man's opinion. They're precious, don't get me wrong. I love them to death. And I love babies. I love holding babies. I love smelling babies. Like, is that weird? But babies, like, have this, like, it's like a new car smell. Like, the new baby smell.
Yeah.
And babies don't start to stink until, like, 6 months. Maybe that's when it's like they switch. They get cuter, but they also get smellier. Sorry, I'm just enjoying myself tonight. Paul says, everyone make sure you hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button, you guys. Mim says, he is with our Lord. That's good. I'm glad that he knew Jesus. Oh, sorry, here. He died of cancer March 7th, 2 years ago, but our wedding was all planned. Man, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's so hard. I can't even imagine. Let's see here. Sorry, here I am joking around, and you have that serious thing going on. But yeah, Mim, if you ever need someone to talk to, I just wanted to let you know that. Just know you're not alone. Yeah, if you ever need someone to talk to, be happy to do that. Either myself or my wife. She's good to talk to as well. Let's see. Oh, 3D Maker was talking about girl. Why you even listen to a snake? Yeah. Still makes me laugh. Yeah. Royal Learning Time is officially 27 years old. Happy 27th birthday for the 10th time. I know you're having a good one, I'm sure. New baby smell? Yes, new baby smell is a real thing. Kevin, your granddaughter has to have new baby smell still. She's only a month old. Oh, Mim says, time for another baby. What do you think?
No, I'm good.
You're good?
I love them all, but
I like
babies, but I'm ready to kind of transition in the next phase, so.
I'm actually good now, too. For a while, I was like not... I thought that we should maybe have more. But at the same time, now that we're reaching all these milestones, it's really hard to, like, want to go back now.
I mean, not that it would be unloved or whatever if we would have another, but
oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm good with the 4.
Yeah, we're just so crazy blessed. It's just crazy, but it's really fun, and but yeah, probably no more kids, not planned at least. Mim says, I know we will all be together when I get called home. Thank you, and I will keep you in mind. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Kevin says she smells like the baby shampoo. Yeah, I think that's part of it. I do think that's part of it. But they just don't hold any stink. I don't understand it. 3D says they grow up so fast. Yes. Mim says you need another boy. Amen. Absolutely, we need another boy. My dog is a boy, but...
Yeah, 'cause he's more of a girl.
Yeah, he acts like a girl. Yeah. He was neutered at 6 weeks, so, he never had a chance. Kevin says, I got to hold her today. She cried a lot and annoyed her mother. To be honest, I giggled like a schoolgirl. I bet you did. 3D Maker has 8 cousins in one family. I have 11 cousins on one side, and I have three, four, six, I guess, on the other side. Well, they're half siblings, so I have four. Sorry, and two half siblings. So I got a big family. Elizabeth does not. And we live near her family and not mine. So we're kind of like family deficient, which is why we love the church, or which is why I love the church. I think she does too.
I do.
Swan says we need two more boys to balance things out. What was it? It wasn't that your original plan? You wanted to have two girls and then twin boys, right?
My original plan was I wanted two boys first and then two girls.
Oh, didn't you want to have twins at one point though?
Well, after we had the two girls, I was like, let's just have two boys. Let's have twins, and then I don't have to be pregnant. You know. But it's like you don't know what you're asking for. It was rough enough with one child at a time, so I couldn't imagine having twins.
Yes.
So, but God knows what He's doing, so I'm glad it's the way it is.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, I never really had a plan. And when we got married, I always told her I wanted 7 kids.
And I told him that wasn't happening.
Yeah. And so we have to adopt 3. So if any of you are up for adoption, we do have some spare space in our house. I have a dream, you know? We need to make this happen. Oh, 3D says, I have around 60 cousins in total. Holy mackerel. That is a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Kelly is in the house. I'm so excited to have you, Kelly. So excited you're here. You are catching up on the very last of the live stream. We're probably almost done. Tyler with the vlog is in the house. Tyler, you were supposed to be here today. I'm praying for your grandma, my friend. Hopefully we can make a video together soon. Maybe next week. We can make that happen after men's breakfast or something. Maybe. Kelly says, I was on my laptop watching a little bit and then it lagged out, so I had to get on my phone. You know, always got to go to the phone. Phone's where it's at. Evan says, my eldest brother has a 7-year-old daughter and an unknown on the way, and my eldest sister has a 4-year-old son and previously mentioned 7-month-old. Wow, so you got a lot of nieces and nephews coming around. Cool stuff. Yeah, Kelly, we were already talking about you, so. Mim is the baby of 10 children. Oh my goodness. This is like the big family channel tonight. So, I have a big ask of all of you. Since you have such big families, maybe you could tell them about my YouTube channel. I don't know if you've heard that I make YouTube videos every now and again. And I need 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I only have 738. So it's an abysmal failure so far. And, I need 262 more subscribers, and I only have 7 weeks or so. So, maybe you could, call up your 60 cousins, 3D Maker Kid. That's 60 right there. Mim has 10 siblings, and I'm sure there's other kids there. Evan, I know the 7-month-old child doesn't have a YouTube channel yet, but I mean, what better gift for the first birthday than to create that channel now and just subscribe while you're at it, Same with the unborn baby, we got to make that happen. I think that's it. You guys. Kevin tells everyone about the YouTube. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Tyler with the vlog talks about the car from church. Yeah, go listen to the sermon, guys. Go listen to the sermon on the Living Water Church channel. My wife doesn't even know what you're talking about, so I don't think.
What's that?
Do you know about the car? The car that I'm getting from the church?
Well, you kind of talked to me about it last night when you were doing the sermon.
Yeah, so you got to go listen to it. Paul's going to tell his mom and dad. Thank you, Paul. We're going to get some subscribers out of this thing. 3D Maker says, why didn't you ask earlier? 3D, I should not have to ask at this point. You should be telling all of your cousins, Just kidding. But I do appreciate it. It's awesome. Kevin, I'm thinking we need to go do the Pewds route. Yeah. Yes. How about PewDiePie, right? I mean, the dude had 62 million subscribers. It felt like a month ago, and now he has 70 million subscribers. and they're never gonna catch him. I don't think. I don't know if that Indian channel is ever gonna catch him. What's it called? T Series. They're never gonna catch him. Have a wonderful night. Take care, you two. Good night. Sorry I was late. Keep passing it on. Yes, yes, yes. Try nieces and nephews. Thank you, Mim. Appreciate you. Kelly's going to pass it around. Tyler's going to tell the world. Thank you. 3D Maker says Buddha T Series. Yay to PewDiePie. I'm with you, my friend. May the small creator, may the small teams ever win. Anything else you want to say?
What you're talking about, but...
Yeah. Anything else? Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
This is Andrew Ladisaw from the greatest city in the world, signing off. See you in the next one. Bless you guys.
Have a good night.